everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. With a spot in the Super Bowl on the line, everything is on the line in today's conference championship matchup. It's the Eagles going up against the Panthers. With that, we head up to Charlotte, where we'll hook up with our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis at Bank of America Stadium. Gentlemen.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl. And we've got a classic in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Carolina Panthers.
Everyone, I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Super Bowl dreams are on the line today in the conference championship, where only one team can move on. It's the Eagles going up against the Panthers. With kickoff straight ahead, let's check in with the two men who will be calling tonight's game. So we say hello to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Carolina Panthers. Daniel on first down. He's got time. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Charles Johnson. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. And here's a look at the starting offense. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Just beating the play clock is Daniel. Surveying the field. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And that brings up 4th down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
That's taken it around the 40. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Panthers will get it here as they take possession. Now they'll run it on the toss. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And what about this offense, Charles? Specifically, what about Jonathan Stewart?
He makes sure everything goes. Put the ball in his chest and watch him run. Can run with power inside, but has enough speed that when he gets outside, he can cause a lot of trouble.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Newton. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. And we peek at the defense now for Philadelphia.
Fletcher Cox is a first-round pick who has fulfilled his promise. One of the best defensive linemen in the NFL.
So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Benjamin with it over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. And Newton's going to keep it. He only needed a few inches. He didn't even get that. And the Eagles defense able to hold. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who signaled down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
The slot man in motion right. First carry for Jonathan Stewart. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
Newton to his fullback, Tolbert. And the ball is knocked out. Smart approach there, using the run to pick up the first. That was a defensive setup they prepared for this week, knowing that keeping it on the ground was the best way to attack it.
And that means also that they're able to read them pretty well. All the things they prepared for, when they get to the line of scrimmage, they see it in pre-snap recognition and know exactly how to attack based on their planning and preparation.
Halfback sent in motion. They'll run with a tight end. It's Olsen. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
Following the penalty, here's Stewart. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12. They keep it on the ground again to Stewart. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. So they're behind the chains as the offense. 12 yards needed on 3rd down.
I got 19. He's mine. He's not going anywhere. Set. 180.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. That's complete right around the 8. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. 4th down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Gano's kick is right through. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Here we go now.
Throwing on 2nd down, Daniel. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops. It looks like, yes, it is 6 defensive backs on the field for Carolina.
They're going with a dime set. Throwing on 3rd down, Daniel. Hard throw, incomplete. Jordan Matthews, the one he was looking for. Now 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Taken right about the 40. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. On 1st down, it's Newton. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that. Now they'll run it on
the toss. And not much running room. Down to the 32. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. They stay on the ground. This time it's Stewart. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Jamal Sheard on the stop.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
3rd and 2, Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Second down, they run with Stewart, and they'll get him down right about the 20. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Newton now to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on 3rd down.
And ordinarily on 3rd down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
And Gano's kick is right through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. Here's Daniel now on second down. And he rifles one incomplete. He was looking for Dorial Green-Beckham. And now it's third down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the shotgun on third, Daniel. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. This is taken at the 18. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the Panthers coming out now. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 14 there, and the Panthers are going to get a first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll be back with more in the NFC title bout after this. Fresh set of downs here. They go back to Stewart on first. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. This is Stewart again, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. And the Eagles with a dime look. 6 DBs on third down. The tight end changing his position. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, partner, they might want to tear up their scouting reports a little bit here because they just broke tendency. Third down, you don't ordinarily see a toss. They ran it, and they ran it really well and picked up a first down. I love the way the edges were sealed, which allowed him to get to the corner.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Again, we'll see the pistol here. On first down, Newton. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Second down now after the incompletion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. A final shot before the break. Newton. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship as we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And on 2nd and 10 now. So the D-line's going to spread out. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Over the middle here to Brown. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So here we go, a 3rd down after the 2nd down pass completion.
Hey. You got 3.
Newton to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. This is fielded at the 27. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Eagles take possession. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. So second down, 3 yards to go now. One receiver left, 2 to the right.
Here we go.
On second down, here's Daniel. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
In motion right comes Matthews. Throwing on second down, Daniel. He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. So an excellent throw and an excellent catch there.
Zone coverage, which means you just have to find the open areas in between defenders. That's exactly what happened on that play.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On first down, Daniel. This complete left side to Aguilar. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's Daniel now on second down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Shift together here from the D-line. Shotgun snap for Daniel. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun on 3rd, Daniel. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
go play action here on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They'll get 16 yards there. And that leads to a Carolina first down. Newton gives off to Stewart. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. They'll get their receiver involved here. It's Brown. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Newton on first down. And Olsen over the middle. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
First and goal from the 8. Back to the ground now with Stewart. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Again, it's Stewart on 2nd and goal. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Well, Carolina eating some clock on the ground there, and part of why they were the NFC champs last year, number 2 as a team in the running game.
They played their identity last year. Offensive line that could move people in the run game. Jonathan Stewart running it. Of course, big Cam Newton could be a short yardage guy. And remember, their head coach, Ron Rivera, a defensive guy. They love to run the football.
So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. They'll give it to him right up the gut. No gain on the play that time. So a big stop, but it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will make our score 9-0. So that's a big one there. It's his 3rd field goal of the game, and a 2-score lead's got to feel pretty good right about now.
And while they're not free and clear yet, you're right. Now this defense can go out knowing that it's going to take more than one big play to catch them.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up. Not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game.
On 2nd down, here's Daniel. Forced out to his left. And some space here. And he slides to avoid the hit. Time for a break. Back with more in the NFC Championship game after this. And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on 3rd down. Daniel. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. K1 short in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right.
Green 39! Green 39! What's in that, Marty? No. Check. Patriot! Over!
Desperation time for Daniel on 4th. And able to find Green. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on 4th and long. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the 1st down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Daniel now to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Back that up, Billy. Here we go now.
And he motions the wide receiver. Now Daniel. Green Beckham has it over the middle. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Always, hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way through.
Well, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.